Did you know that baby fish are called fry and that the term small fry most likely came from that? Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at how to care for your aquarium, how to encourage your fish to have fry or babies, depending on the term you prefer to use, as well as how to get those fry to survive to adulthood. I'm going to be going over 6 tips with you. My name is Marlene, and welcome to my home and garden channel. Tip number 1 is to make sure that your water stays as clean as possible. And a good way to do that is to properly maintain your filters. For me, I typically have mine changed every 2 months. But depending on the type of fish that you have, I have mollies, and in the past I've also had swordtails. Those are not as messy as some fish types can be, such as goldfish. If you have goldfish, you most likely may want to change your filter maybe once per month. As well as you'll want to do partial water changes where you're taking out some of the older water and topping up your tank with newer water. So that way it helps it to stay clean. And if you are using water from the tap, make sure that what you're doing is having it sit at least maybe for 24 hours. And then you can add it into your tank, and that way what you're doing is that you're allowing the chlorine to come off so it does not affect the fish, because that actually will harm them. The next tip is to make sure that they have a good air supply. Most aquarium kits, they don't come with an air pump and the tubing, so you may want to go ahead and purchase that, where you get the air pump, the tubing, and the air stone, and that actually helps to get more air in the tank, more oxygen for them, so that way they're able to feel more comfortable and they survive better. And if your fish feel more comfortable, they feel more secure, then they're more likely to breed and give you lots of baby fish. Next thing is, make sure that you have the correct temperature in your tank. If you're in a tropical area, you're less likely to run into this problem, but if you're not, then the colder months in the year, you will definitely need to have a heater in your tank. And those usually don't come with the kit as far as I know. So you'll want to make sure you have a heater. You also want to have temperature indicators. Some of them, they come like little strips that you can just stick on the tank and it will tell you what temperature is going on inside there. Typically about 78 plus or minus a few degrees is okay for your tropical fish. And in some cases you can also get maybe like a thermometer, that's made for aquariums that you can put in there as well. So that's as far as maintaining the temperature goes. The next tip is to make sure that you're keeping your fish away from predators. Say for example cats, they like fish. If you're leaving it open when you feed them and you forget to close the lid, then you could find that they might get in there and somehow get to the fish. I don't know how it happens, but it does. I've even heard of cases where lizards, people who keep them like, maybe on a porch or something in a tropical area, that they actually go in and get the fish. So just, bear that in mind. Next thing too is aggressive fish. If you're noticing that, you have a fish that's chasing the other ones around in the tank a lot, and, they're basically, looking stressed out, then the best option really is to have that aggressive fish removed and put in a smaller tank for a period of time. And then when you feel that enough time has passed, you can always put the fish back and see how they behave at that point. So definitely something to watch out for. And by the way, guys, I do hope that you will subscribe to my channel for more home and garden topics. I mostly cover gardening, but whatever tips I have that I can help you in other areas around the home, then I'll always, have those videos coming as well. The next critical thing now, as far as having your fry, is to have a place where they can hide off and feel secure. I use river rocks in mine. People typically put gravel, but I found that river rocks work very well for me. They were pretty inexpensive, and you can always change them out too if you feel like it as time goes by. But the most critical thing though really is to have the fish baby hideout, because that, it's all those little parts that are on there allows them to go in and hide when they're really, really tiny. And then as they get older and they, they're larger, then they feel more secure coming out. So, and also the fish tank decor as well, like different things that are sold in the stores, you can get those and put in there. It helps to make it look really attractive, as well as gives them additional places to hide. So definitely, worth considering. There are also plants that you can get as well, different types, and it just all comes together really nicely and just makes your tank look really beautiful. Bear in mind too that has shown that if you watch fish swimming, for a few minutes every day, that it actually helps to lower your blood pressure, and this could be even up to 4%. And it may not sound like a lot, but honestly, if you're having difficulty in that area, whatever improvements you can have, it's certainly worth considering with all these other benefits that are there. Tip number 6 is to make sure that they're being properly fed. For the babies, you'll want to break up the flakes and make sure that when you break up the flakes, you'll take a look at it, and it typically would go to the bottom of the tank, and that way they can still hide out down there and they can get the little parts that they need and not have to worry about trying to swim up and trying to get to the larger flakes at the top. And just generally feeding your fish, don't put too much in after a few minutes. They should have eaten what you have put in there. If you're having too much left back, that means that you're overfeeding your fish, and that is not good for them. As well as it also helps to make your tank dirtier, and you have to get to cleaning it more often. Regarding feeding as well too, if you're someone that travels often, like for a few days, you can always invest in the weekend feeders. Those are sold like in your pet supply stores, and I've also put links for some of the things that you can actually buy online as well in the description box below. But definitely a weekend feeder is a good investment. You change them out as you need them, and they're pretty inexpensive, and it allows for your fish to feed for a few days while you're not there, so you don't have to worry that they're not going to be okay. So I would say if you're considering getting an aquarium, if you check all the boxes and everything seems to work out as far as your home life is concerned, then certainly, also if you have little children too, they'll definitely like that. If you're not ready for the responsibility of a larger pet, then that's really a good way to start. They can learn responsibility, they can enjoy them, and it also helps to make your house look really, really nice when you have it in there. It sounds very peaceful when you hear the water flowing. So these are all, good reasons to have it. So I would definitely recommend it, depending on your lifestyle, how your life is set up. Hope you'll consider it, and I hope that these tips will help you. I do thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next video, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day.